Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. So I'm just going to adjust the camera here a little bit. So for this part of my Star Wars Galaxy Edge series, I thought I would sort of go over some of the souvenirs and stuff that we got. So that might maybe give you some information to decide what you might want to get or not want to get, whether it's worth the money, for instance, or whatnot. So I've already made some videos talking about how difficult it is to get the Savi's workshop to build your own lightsaber. And so I figured I'd just start with that. It is $200 in tax to pay for the lightsaber and the experience. It's one of the most quickly sold out. And it's really, it takes a little bit of luck actually, and to get in there, and then you have to make a beeline for it and make it a priority. And then still, it takes a little bit of luck to see if you can beat out the people who are doing the same thing, and whether out of the block of thousands of people going here, you're one of the lucky 150 to 170 people who are going to get to build this lightsaber during that 4-hour block. Again, this is what's going to happen the next 3 weeks. I don't know how things will shake out once they remove reservations. At that point, you won't have to worry about building it during the 4 hours, but you may have to worry about building it for the rest of the day. And I can imagine buying a lightsaber experience at 10 in the morning to be asked to come back at midnight, which it's kind of a tall order, if you take my meaning. But enough of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually lower the camera so you can actually see me sort of looking at the lightsaber. Let's see how that works. So here we go. I'm going to release, and I'm going to have you tilt so it looks like that. So hopefully you can actually see the lightsaber pretty nicely. So this is the one that my daughter built. I think she built it from the Defenders or something like that. There's 4 main classes, and I forget the various versions. There's one associated with the Jedi, which is like peace and defense, I think. And there's like power and control, which is associated with the dark side of the Sith. There's a more elemental version that I chose because I just really like the neat little design with the Rancor tooth at the end. And then she chose this one, which is more of an ancient Jedi temple type of lightsaber. Okay, so in essence, the interesting thing is both my daughter and I chose sort of the non-traditional, non-original trilogy lightsaber designs. They have one for like the Jedi and the Sith, and we chose the other 2. So it's really heavy. Okay, it's all metal. There's maybe certain parts that are not quite metal, like this part here is maybe not exactly, but most of it is actually metal. This is the end where the blade goes in. Here's the other end right here, and again, just tapping it, it's a very heavy piece. So you definitely, this is not anything like the plastic cheap lightsabers that you might be used to. So again, quality piece, all metal. And once you choose the class of lightsaber, you are then asked to choose different parts. And it comes with the following parts. So I'm going to start unscrewing it. So the ends come off here. So here goes. We're going to screw this off. This will come all the way off. So this is piece number 1. You'll get several choices there. And then we can go off the handle here. So this is the other end. So this comes off right here. And you can actually see it in the middle of the grooves where it has to fit to do it. I don't think it'll fit any other way. So the 2 ends, again, you can feel that's metal. These are what you're going to choose. There's multiple choices there. And then you have the larger shaft area. So you, again, twist it. And this comes right off. So again, you're going to be choosing this. And then this thing here comes off as well. Let's make sure that we don't break this thing here. So yeah, it comes off like that. So here you can see that it's only one little groove. There's not much at the ends here. It just kind of grooves right in. You don't want to twist it too hard. So there you have that. Make sure we get all that set. And then the center piece is magnetized, and I think you can just pull this apart. So here we go. Yep. So this comes apart right here. So this is the actual, I guess, the frame of the lightsaber, okay? It runs off of batteries, and this here is the kyber crystal. They sell a whole bunch of colors, and you get one, of course, when you're building your lightsaber. So in essence, you put the kyber crystal in the space here, and then it takes care of things, and then at that point it should make a sound. So technically the kyber crystal we can take off right here. So this is what you do to change the crystals, by the way. Okay, so you have to somehow take it off. All right, so here we have it. So essentially this is what you get when you build a lightsaber experience. You get this kind of base model. This is the core, and I think the batteries are actually cunningly hidden somewhere in here. And you have to look at the instructions. The instructions are actually, believe it or not, on the lightsaber satchel that they give you. And I think they tell you how to get the batteries out and replace them. I think this is the end with the battery. I can feel the weight in it, and it's like, I don't know, 6 AA batteries or something like that. And you have to sort of figure out how to get it off, how to get it open. I haven't figured that part out, and I'll have to look into it to see how to, again, get the panel off so you can actually change the batteries. So they're going to ask you to put the kyber crystal in. So the colors are, I think, blue, green, and red, which are the classic colors from the original trilogy. Blue obviously being Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, red being the Vader's, and green, the one that Luke built for himself. And then purple is from Mace Windu's. This is actually very popular. A lot of people's favorite color is purple. And then there's also white and yellow, which you can buy at the antiquity store. And that's 6, right? Yes, white and yellow, that's 6. And then if you're really lucky, I think the odds are about 1 in 200. If you buy a red, you might occasionally get an obsidian or black kyber crystal. The problem with that is, while it's a really nice Easter egg or a really nice, rare thing to find, you put the black kyber crystal in and it's still red, which is a little lame. But be that as it may, for people who are really into that, they're out there. I think you can buy one off eBay for about $500, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, but there you go. So first step, you want to put in the crystal. You have to check the orientation. So there's little indentations down here. I don't really know if the orientation matters, so you're gonna take this, which is the sharper end, you sort of seat it in the depression, and when you're maintaining it, you just sort of try to wriggle it in place. And if you do that, you can hear the sound, and now you can actually see it glowing purple here. Hopefully you can appreciate that. So if you did it correctly, that'll be it. So it's a really cool effect, and then every time you take it out and you put a new one in, it gets the same thing. So once your kyber crystal is in place, you can then obviously begin to put the rest of it together. And this is what is going to charge up everything. It's a little bit worrisome because this thing never stops blinking, even if you hide everything. So I can imagine the battery is draining out of this thing reasonably quickly over time. But there it is. Now, yeah, for sure, I think this is where the batteries are because this is really light. Okay. They certainly have not made it easy. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there we go. I think if you twist it, I'll do it with the lightsaber, but I think I figured out how to get this out to get the batteries connected. So anyways, we'll put this down for now and take a look. So essentially, when you're building the lightsaber, they'll give you a tray, and the tray has all of these various components. So you have the 2 ends, and then you have the 2 shafts, and then you can also choose 2 pieces in the middle that come together to give you the trigger, okay? or the on-off switch in essence. So there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this comes as a pair. So there's a total of 5 pieces to choose from, and that makes each lightsaber, even within the grouping that you chose of the 4, unique. So the way you put it on, you put in the shaft first, obviously, and you have to see where the grooves are. So the groove is in here. So you slide this in, and then you just basically gently rotate it until it seats. I think it only goes one way, so hopefully I'm not completely screwing this up. Am I screwing this up? Hold on a second here. This is the beauty of doing something live. If you don't know what you're doing, everybody can see you struggling with it. How does that work? Does it go like this then? And you lock it in like that. But then this thing shouldn't really be moving, I don't think. Hold on a second. I'm obviously missing something. Unless, oh, I see. I think we're supposed to actually put this part first. So you can see that there's a blue right here. There's a blue here. So the blue and the red need to match up. So we put the blues this way. We put the red down below, and then we lock it in place. Ah, I understand now what I did wrong. The sequence is important. So the first step is just to pop these two together. There you go. Comes together with a satisfying click. I think they're magnetized. And so once you get the middle part together, this will be the trigger right here. Now you, as you can see, you created the grooves to put this on. So this should go on like that. Yes, this is actually what prevents this from falling apart, because the grooves will seat it in place. And so in order to change the kyber crystal, you have to gently unscrew this a little bit so that this falls off to expose this. Okay, so that makes sense. So anyways, you put this in place to lock it, and then you go on the other end, and you put that in place, and you lock that. Again, no need to go too crazy, being too tight, as long as it's reasonably solid. You don't want to break it, so put it in, and then you should be able to untwist it very simply like this. And the same thing here, very simple like that. So snug, but not tight. So once you have the shafts aligned, then you take the ends, and you, same thing, gently find the groove and screw it on. There you have it here. And then on this side, put this on here. Yeah, I think it's going to be going this way. And you gently put it on right over here. Okay, so now we've recreated the blade. Now, interestingly, if you try to turn it on with no blade in there, you're going to hear this effect, like it's shorting out, which is cool. We're going to turn it off now. So let's put the blade in place. So I'm going to tilt this screen back up. Okay, here you have it. So hopefully you enjoyed that part, seeing me sort of recreate building the lightsaber, except in the comfort of my own home. And this is part of what you get as well, as part of your $200. So this apparently is pretty expensive. It's a very well-made piece of acrylic. The LED lighting there is really bright, really nice. This is interchangeable, so the color of this lightsaber will be depending on the kyber crystal in your custom lightsaber, which is not something that is possible for the legacy lightsabers that you buy in the antiquity store. Those are keyed to individual characters. And so obviously, they can't give you, like, Luke's lightsaber, for instance, and have it be, red, for instance, or white. And so only the custom lightsabers are the ones that allow you to interchange various kyber crystals, which is pretty cool. You don't have to buy a separate, blade, because depending on the kyber crystal you put in, this will light up different colors. And it's really, really easy to take this and put it into the lightsaber blade. So here you go. You line it up. There is a large key here, and there's a smaller depression here, and it lines up with this. So hard to see, but it's not rocket science. You put it in here until it fits. It should slide right in. You can't slide it any other way, it's keyed. And then you simply gently press it in, and then you'll go in and you'll twist. And now it'll make a sound to state that it's now seated, okay? Now I am going to, again, forgive me, this is the first time I'm using this particular camera holder, so I'm going to now turn it on so you can see the effect. Here we go. So this is how bright it is in the sound effects. I'm going to step back a little bit. So this is kind of how long this is. And when you move it, you hear the various things, and if you simply thrust, you can actually see it glow white or yellow, as the case may be. And if you do certain moves with it, you can actually hear the effects and actually see the little flashes. So pretty cool. And if you tap it, it will do the same thing. It has all sorts of cool sound effects. It really feels like a lightsaber, okay? I'm gonna turn it off now. So there you have it. Is it a toy? Of course it is, but it is a pretty cool toy for the $200. And so, I was pretty cynical when I first bought this, because I just have this, bias against these, toys. I just thought, oh, they're just cheap plastic. And when you see these little 9-year-olds or 6-year-olds running around with plastic lightsabers that glow, you're like, yeah, come on, okay? But they really took this to the next level. And to give you some perspective and understand that this whole world of lightsabers is getting better and better. Just like, TVs get better and cars get better. We got Teslas now. We got, $5,000 TVs that are as thin as a couple pieces of paper, or they can actually fold. So technology is moving very, very quickly. And not only for things like TVs and cars, but for toys. And so these lightsabers have gone to the next level. There are actually online companies. I think one of them is like Ultra Lightsabers, but there's a couple of them out there that are charging $900, $800, $600, $1,000 for incredibly beautiful machined metal lightsaber handles, and incorporating LED technology like what you just saw and sound technology to really make you recreate essentially an honest-to-goodness lightsaber. Like, it is almost as bright as the lightsabers that you see, which are in the movies, which are achieved with special effects. So it's kind of remarkable that you're able to do that. And this, acrylic blade is pretty hardy. You can. I wouldn't recommend smashing each other with this. You will break it, you'll shatter it. But you can actually, play around and pretend you're dueling and that type of thing, and have a ball, doing this, pretending you're a Jedi. So again, it's a great toy. So $200 for a toy, yes, but it is a very high quality toy. I'll tell you that. And that is why I think that experience is always going to be really, really valuable. A lot of people are going to do it, no matter, even if it costs $200. And people are going to be very happy walking around with this. And when you go to Star Wars land and you bring your lightsaber with you, and you just see all of these, guests with the different color lightsabers at night, it is honestly an incredibly cool thing to see. Kind of seeing the passion, the fandom. You got people with blues and yellows and purples, all these different custom sabers, and also the legacy sabers. And just walking around having a grand time in Galaxy's Edge. That's something that we just can't recreate. Okay, so that's my daughter's. And I'm going to take the time now to just quickly show you the one I made for myself. So here it is. This is from like the Elemental, whatever, it's more primitive, whatever you want to call it. I just think it's hilarious because it's like a Rancor tooth. So it's like definitely a more primitive lightsaber. So I'm going to, again, turn the camera down so you can actually see me mess with it. Right down here. So there you have it. So this is the the elemental version. This is not metal. This feels more like, I don't know, like leather or fall leather or something like that, like a hide or something. So again, pretty cool. You can see where you can put everything in. Very, very heavy. It's got a heft to it. And the blade, by the way, is not that light either. So when you put this together, it's got serious weight. Again, I would say easily, 8 pounds, 7 pounds. So again, you can gently twist. So for this one, I'm not going to take it all the way apart, but you can just sort of twist this. You twist the end just enough to sort of, loosen everything up, right? So you can actually let this thing go. And then the same thing up here. You can loosen that up, loosen this up. So this basically creates a situation where you don't have to completely take apart the lightsaber to change the kyber crystals. And so as you can see, once you've sort of taken the ends off, and now this is actually mobile on both sides, you're now able to pry the middle part apart. And it's the same type of thing, you put your fingernail in there, you gently move it around, and you'll get it out. So I chose a blue kyber crystal for mine. My daughter chose a purple because she likes purple. I chose blue because I'm partial to that. That's my favorite color. Okay, so there you have it. Taking it aside. It is a little trickier to do with everything still in place. And again, it's magnetized. So you can clearly see the blue and the red that aligns with the color codes here, right? So you know where to put them. And so in the middle here is my kyber crystal, which you can see is blue. And you can pop this out and put new ones in. Again, pretty cool. So definitely, as you start getting into this, you're going to want to eventually get your hands on all of the kyber crystals, just because it's just a really neat thing to have. So line up here. Whoops. Let's pop that in. I turned it on by mistake. And then we put this on here. It snaps in very nicely. This screws it in to lock it in place. And it screws it on top to lock it in place. And then the ends go on. There you have it right here, okay? My elemental lightsaber, so to speak, with a rancor tooth. Very nice. And then I'm going to put this back up. Same thing. Take this blade. You line it up like so, and then you press down and twist, and it seats it. You can hear it locking into the sound effect. Heard that? Now you're in. And then we're going to turn this on. And every time the kyber crystal is different, it turns on a little bit differently. There's little tiny variations in the effects. So here we go. Now it's blue. Turn back so you can get an idea of how this is. And we got the light on, so imagine how much more amazing this looks like in the dark. So hopefully you can see the color of that. Really nice. Right? And when you make a sudden movement, you can see it actually flash. Really, really cool effect. Really, really nice effect. Now let's turn that off. So there you have it. Those were the two sabers that we got. I can imagine, people over the years going back and just buying different ones, getting all 4 of them. I think getting every variation might be a little bit excessive. I mean, that's a little bit crazy there. you could be spending several $1,000s doing that, and they're all basically the same. But I think one of each of the main classes is not unreasonable if you're into this sort of stuff. And then get all the different kyber crystals, you can have all the different Jedi effects. So there you go. That's why I think that it was an awesome experience. Why $200 is not ridiculous. And then on top of that, you get this really nice carrying case because they don't want you to drop it and break it. And you just shove it in. It's very nicely padded with foam to protect it. And then here, there is a tag that's there to show you how to take care of it, where the batteries are, things like that. So very neat experience. And also as part of your entryway into Savi's, to be able to build it, you have to take this pin that they give you when you first buy the experience, and the pin gets you into the workshop. It's sort of a secret decoder or something. So you get a cool little pin as well. So when you think about the quality of the handle, the metal pieces, the interchangeability of the kyber crystals, which is unique to the custom lightsaber itself, the fact that the blade can be easily taken on and off, so you can actually play or display the handle. And then you have, of course, the carrying case and everything that comes with it, the little experience with it. 200, I think there'll be a lot of people who will be willing to pony up for that, actually. And the quality, again, is, in my opinion, pretty darn good. Is it as good as a $600 Ultra lightsabers? Probably not, but remember, at that point, it's a bargain at a third the price. And the LEDs are really bright. If you have the room dim, it's incredible. And maybe I'll put a short little video later on when my daughter is around, where we can turn the lights dim and we can actually show you. It's pretty stunning. It really feels like you have a lightsaber glowing, and then the sound effects, the flashes. You just keep thinking to yourself, what would they think of next? So I think that's about all I have to say. There's a lot of other videos out there, obviously, YouTube videos out there about the people showing the experience. Some people even recorded the entire workshop show, which I didn't want to do. I think, I understand why it's there, because there are people who obviously are from really far away, or other countries or states who are not going to be able to experience this for a long, long time. But you sort of want to maintain the mystery as much as you can. But I hope you enjoyed my little demonstration and review of the custom lightsabers. At least 2 of them that you can build in Savi's workshop. And it's a lot of fun and a great collectible. I really think, along with the droids, it's a wonderful thing to get. But if I had to choose between the 2, I definitely would go for the lightsaber because of all the things I just kind of demonstrated. I think the kids love the droids, and I'll review those, of course, later on as well. But I think, for me personally, definitely, I think the lightsaber was the highlight souvenir that I got from my little trip to Galaxy's Edge. So until next time and my next review, do take care.